feast or famine. In the caveman days, you would have periods of feast and periods of famine. A period of famine is where you didn't know when your next food was going to turn up. And so for the best chance of survival, what you had to do is make sure that any food that you did have, you took all the nutrition you could from the food and used it as energy. This was really critical because the sooner you use the reserves that you've got stored, the sooner you're going to die. So your subconscious and your mind is interpreting your environmental triggers and adapting the way it metabolizes your food based on what's going on. So if it believes you're in a period where you've got very limited amount of food, it adjusts your metabolism accordingly to take all the nutrition it can from your food and use it to keep you alive. And then you have a period of feast. A period of feast, you caught a woolly mammoth, you've got plenty of food. Excellent. So now what happens is what's really important is that you restock your supplies, because those supplies will be needed again one day when you're in a period of famine. So what happens during a period of feast is your metabolism switches again. So instead of taking all the food and using it as nutrition, the food is used as a bare minimum to survive, and everything else is extracted and stored in your reserves. So let's fast forward for a moment to the modern age. The modern age of dieting. What is dieting? Dieting is a period of feast and a period of famine. Your brain knows exactly what to do with that. It adjusts accordingly. So if you're on a diet, it will adjust your metabolism accordingly to deal with the reduced calorific intake, or whatever you want to call it. And then, you know how you always have time off a diet? Either you're having a break, or it's a holiday, or a birthday, or I can't just do this diet anymore, so you're kind of in that middle ground between not dieting and kind of dieting. Well, your brain knows how to adapt to that. And this is why on a diet you lose weight but gain more, lose weight but gain more, because your brain is constantly juggling your metabolism. So eventually you're eating far less, but you're putting on more weight because your brain is adjusting your metabolism accordingly. So your brain decides, your subconscious decides, based on your environmental factors, how it should metabolize your food. This is not as simple as calories in versus calories burned. This is calories in versus calories burned times your metabolic rate that your subconscious has measured up based on threats in your environment. It will look after you, it will keep you alive no matter what, and it's not really your choice. So just bear that in mind, that a factor of how you eat and what you do is how you metabolize food. And I'm sure we all have friends who seem to be able to stay remarkably slim despite eating more than us. That's simply because the subconscious has a different way to metabolize food than us.